We begin our meditation today. It's a new year. Let's develop an effective meditation practice. The goal of meditation is to center your ego or I consciousness in the center of your infinite self. To center your I consciousness, your I-ness, your individuality, your ego, humbly and in total alignment with the infinite source of your being. To do that, we need to acknowledge that we exist in an infinite field of being. The Bible says in that we live, move, and have our being. The Vedas say that my I, aham, is of Brahman. It exists in the divine. Aham Brahmasmi. Open your mental space. This is where your ego is born. This is where your ego moves. This is where your ego intends. Open the mental space. Beyond every boundary that may exist there, I exist in infinite being. As much as you can understand this, as much as you can conceptualize this, open yourself to it. I, this I that I feel, exists in infinite being. And slowly breathe into that mental space. Infinite peace. Infinite potentiality. Use the breath to bring balance to all the energetic levels of your being. As you open your belly to breathe, you bring your attention to lower energy centers. As you open your chest to breathe, give attention to the energy center of the heart. And as you breathe into the throat, to the silence of the mind. And to the space of listening. Learn how to use the breath effectively. Give attention to the breathing as you keep that expansive state of mind. Breathing out slowly and completely as you take your attention down from the third eye center in the brain, right down to the belly, navel area, and down to the root, perineum area. And then as you take your attention upwards, open the belly to breathe. To breathe in fully into the belly. Open the chest to breathe there. Open up the rib cage. Breathe into the throat. Take your attention to the medulla point at the back of the neck and into the brain at the third eye. This is how you bring balance to your energies. remember to observe the ego as you do this, the tendency of the I. It needs to stay humble. It needs to stay aligned to the center of infinite being. And it needs to sustain this. This is how you learn to manage the meditation process. This is the essential training for the mind. It's a new year. You want to master this meditation practice. So, this practice of observing every level of being, witnessing the breath, witnessing the mind, witnessing the infinite space of being and its experience, and sustaining it. It is the meditation practice of witnessing. It is important to note, to observe, that as you center, extend your center of being, your center of observing, to the heart, to the center of the chest, as you breathe into the chest, that you may open your emotional center to infinite loving. Open the heart. Breathe fully in there and breathe out fully from there. As I scan the field, I want to feel your emotional space. Let's co-create this space. Open the heart. Use the mind to open the heart. Loving, loving, loving being. Unconditionally loving. Love nourishes your entire being. Let the mind give attention to this loving space and open up this space. You will feel that your palms are becoming warmer. When you're truly doing this, your body becomes nourished. Let your ego align itself to infinite loving. And that way it goes deeper and deeper into infinite self. For some of you, you'll find that your hands begin to not only feel warm, but to open up and move as though they have a life of their own. And stay in present moment awareness. There's only now. There's only now. And as you begin to truly experience this, as I can feel that you're doing, let's come down to the belly area, another key area, and breathe into the belly, breathe prana into the belly. Open up the lower lungs. And fill the belly cavity with loving being. an attentive awareness. And here you can bring in a mantra in the mind, one that resonates with you. And open up the belly to breathe. Push the breath out gently. Pull the breath in. And you will feel that your physical being, at its very core, begins to be a part of your meditation. And open up the belly to the maximum, giving attention to the sides and to the space below the rib cage. And open up the belly from the lowest area, right above the sacral chakra, sacral center. And begin to feel the joy of really revitalizing your physical being. And I love just using Om here, Om, or Om Guru. It creates a beautiful resonance in the mind. And as you take your attention down the sacral area, tapping into the energies, there you go right down to the root. With your attention and a gentle pull of the perineum. It needs to be more energetic than muscular. And now truly give attention to spinal breathing, pranic breathing along the spine. As you breathe up the spinal column with your attentiveness, right up to the throat, back of neck, third eye. And then as you breathe down, you give attention to your physical body. Sharing all that energy you have gathered in the in-breath. And as you begin to do this, you'll feel that it's happening all by itself, because it is the rhythm of nature. It is the rhythm that a deeper part of you engages in, sustains you. You are aligning yourself to the natural rhythms of the universe as you do this. Open the mind and then observe the entire space of multidimensional experience. Develop multidimensional awareness. Now stay with me in the practice. Rhythmic breath. Sustained attentiveness. Staying in the now, present moment. Gathering energy as you take your attention up the spine, opening a belly to breathe, chest, throat, breathing into the throat, third eye. And energizing the body as you breathe down. When you begin to feel that you are aligned to the rhythm of the universe, that the breath is moving in its own, that the awareness and movement is natural. You'll find it being effortless. That the divine is the doer, and you're just the instrument of doing. Join me in the beautiful silence. Your entire being is going to be nourished. Now slowly extend your awareness. Keeping your center, slowly extend your awareness to the space around you. The physical space. This physical field is where your day of activity is going to happen. We want to stay centered in that divine space as we do, as we become active in the world. As you bring your mind and consciousness to your physical world, just take a deep breath by breathing out first and opening the belly to breathe, bring in more air into the lungs. Open the chest to breathe into the throat. Bring more oxygen to the body and more prana from the outer space. To bring more prana, focus on the medulla point and the third eye as you breathe. And take your attention up the body, opening up the belly, opening up the chest. Fully. Breathing into the throat. And you will find that your physical senses become more alive. You can smell more. You can feel the taste more, the tongue awareness. You can experience the light and the warmth, the fire element. Sense of touch, sense of seeing, sense of taste are all energized. And as you breathe into the throat, the sense of hearing related to the space. Inner and outer. And it is your mind, through these senses, that can engage in the world around you. We call that part of the mind the manas, the part that engages with the world. As you become more aware of the elements of nature and experiencing the physical senses being energized, let's look ahead to this day, creating an intention that will stay with us, resonating at every level. I center my individual consciousness, my ego consciousness, in the center of my infinite being, that source of infinite peace, love, goodness, wisdom, and vitality. I hold the intention to stay there in that awareness of my multidimensionality throughout this day. That my every thought, word, and action be full of light, be full of goodness, be full of nobility. I give thanks for all the blessings that I receive from my infinite self. And I pray to stay in this awareness and enlightenment that I can channel from that infinite self within me. I give thanks. Om. Peace. 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 Namaskar, everyone. Welcome to Sunday. And as we begin the new year and we are focused on the path of sadhana, spiritual discipline, integrating spiritual discipline into daily life, truly living the teachings, it's important to utilize your meditation every day to best effect, that the teachings can come alive in your practice of meditation. Today I try to create that awareness of multidimensionality. You experience your world through an ego, that ego that can desire, that ego that can think and feel and act. That ego is sustained by the infinite, but it thinks it has its own personal power, which of course is an illusion. The power that you have within you comes from an infinite space. You have the power to channel. But when you channel through negative intentions that are not noble, intentions that are selfish, your experience becomes limited. And when you channel from an ego that is selfless, noble, good, you have more expansive experiences of the light. It is through that kind of channeling you can revitalize your body, your mind, your emotional center, and be more prepared for a new day. So in the practice this morning of the meditation, I try to get you to be attentive to revitalizing your entire being. First, being aware of all the levels, being aware of the energies that are moving in your space that you can channel, the peacefulness, the goodness, the vitality. And I told you to be open in the mind, because only when you're open, you can actually observe your multidimensionality from a deeper center. So you need to be observing from a silent mind and a very open mind. And of course, that grows with practice. Don't think that in one sitting, all of this awareness is going to come to you. It comes gradually as you begin to practice more and more. So you need to train yourself to be able to see this invisible space, to experience it, perceive. This space of multidimensionality, where you have different energies in your field, but you need to really understand that your mind is the forerunner. It is through the mind that you can begin to observe, and through intention that you can begin to observe the entire field. These days I'm using a telescope to view the galaxy. And if you don't fine-tune this, you can't see properly. You may miss it. So it requires fine-tuning to see the moon or to see the stars. It requires fine-tuning. And only when you begin to fine-tune, then the universe opens up to you. And so too, when you begin to witness and you really begin to observe more and more, the field will open up to you. But you need to be open. The moment you think you know, then that's where you limit yourself. So always you need to move with the awareness. There is more to know. As much as I know, there is more to know. That's how you keep open. You keep open to the energies that move within your being. And there are energies that move within your being that sometimes you don't see. You don't perceive it. But with meditation practice, the whole field opens up to you as you begin to observe more. So learning to observe is extremely critical. And if you observe, really, you will see how much you lack awareness during your day. Are you aware of your heartbeat during the day? Are you aware of how your lungs breathe? Are you aware of how your nervous system is becoming depleted? Are you aware of the overheating of the brain as you do overthinking? Are you able to observe the power you have to breathe during the day, to revitalize? Do you observe what lack of sleep can do? Do you observe what eating the wrong kind of food can do? You need to have food wisdom. You need to have awareness of your vitality throughout your being. So much awareness we should have, and we may think, oh my God, this is so much to do, I have to be aware of all these things. No, this is natural to us. We have just lost the ability. Because the more and more you become aware, the more you will enjoy catching a breath during your day. The more you will become aware of the kind of food you eat and the kind of experience they give to you. The more you will be aware of your connection with the earth and your connection with water and your connection with light. All these have healing powers. How much awareness we lack. People who live close to nature have more of this awareness. There is so much to learn, and observation is the practice. And fine-tuning your way of seeing, opening up the mind to more possibilities, and really observing. And observing every level. You should be totally body aware during your day. Aware of your belly and its energy, aware of the chest and its energy field, aware of the throat and the communication field, aware of the brain and the mind, and aware of the physical field, the gross body, because that's how you connect with the earth element. There's so much excitement when you learn to relate to nature with more awareness, and relate to life and its energies with more awareness. The energy of relationships, relationship with a pet, relationship with trees and plants, relationship with all forms of life. It's amazing. Relationship with crystals even. And relationship with other entities in the universe when they come into your field. Not only physical people come into your field, but other entities come into your field. And they inhabit certain places, but when you go, you can actually feel that there is some kind of either noble presence here or eerie presence here, negative. It's a beautiful world, full of energies. And you can perceive at every level of being. Learn to observe, learn to keep an open mind, and don't limit yourself by your limited mind and limited perception. The more you open up your space through the meditation practice, that's why we showed up the world, to be able to observe the inner space. Because if you observe the inner space first, the outer space becomes more recognized for what it truly is. So this is as much as I'm going to say to you today, and to wish you a marvelous Sunday, and to say that we are on the path of sadhana. And for those of you who have been registered for our course, purpose-driven course, based on the talks I gave last year, what I'm going to say to you on these Sundays is to help you to be more aware of self and to be more purpose-driven, as you should be, aligned to the universe. Have a blessed day, everyone. Namaskar.